So often with diabetes, the focus is on what you should not be eating, but today I want to talk about what you should be eating. And I want to start with fibre because I say fibre is a diabetic's best friend. It stabilises sugars, lowers cholesterol, and aids in weight loss, which overall helps with sugar control. Now, the standard American diet includes only about 16 grams of fibre a day, but for optimal health, we need to get 2 or 3 times that amount. So we should be aiming for about 15 grams for breakfast and for lunch, and then some extra for supper. So where might we get that much fibre? Well, it's actually very easy. Legumes are the way to do it. In half a cup of legumes, which you see here, there are 8 grams of fibre. So here we've got edamame straight out of a packet, out of the freezer. You can just heat that up and it's ready to go. Tofu stroganoff, some refried beans out of the can, some red pinto beans, or some garbanzos. So those are all wonderful ways that you can get 8 grams of fibre very easily. You get about 3 grams of fibre in half a cup of veggies, grains, or fruit. So again, great way to get your fibre. And it's balancing it all across. And then you also get fibre from nuts. Almonds, pistachios, flaxseed, these sunflower seeds, they're all going to have some fibre in. The next thing you need to think about what you want to eat is vitamins and minerals, because they are necessary for good health. And if you have, for example, white bread, white rice, you are losing a lot of vitamins and minerals. So focus on getting them out of your fruits, veggies, whole grains, your nuts and your seeds. So again, same foods. It's getting really basic, isn't it? And then phytochemicals are powerful antioxidants and anti-inflammatories that are found, guess where? Fruits, grains, nuts, spices like turmeric and seeds. Now, what's next? Carbohydrates. And you know, they get the bad rap, but they are the most abundant and readily available source of energy. Most of us as adults need about 130 grams a day, but most of us eat twice as much as we need, and we gravitate to the wrong kinds of carbohydrates, the unhealthy kind, like sugar. But there's an abundance of healthy carbohydrates right here on the table. Grains, whole grains, legumes have a lot of carbs in, and then of course you're going to get them from the veggies, your fruit, and even from your non-dairy milk or your dairy milk. So all of those things contain fibre, vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, proteins and carbohydrates. You just have to learn how to combine them in a sensible way and balance them out. Now, I mentioned protein. Well, we only need about 50 grams of protein a day, and Americans eat about twice as much as we need. That places an extra load on our liver and our kidneys, both of which are already challenged by the diabetes. And it's not just a problem of quantity, there's also the problem of quality, because the protein in animal products is different to the quality in plant products. And the plant sources of protein match the body much better, and so it's better quality protein. Besides which, animal protein intake increases the risk of diabetes and heart disease, as do animal fats. So, according to a recent study, we should really be choosing healthy fats from whole plant foods like nuts and seeds, olives, avocados, and even coconut. But eat them in moderation because, again, we eat too much fat. So, only eat about 15 almonds in a meal total fat. 1/3 of an avocado. Perhaps if you're using a little flaxseed oil, you might use only 2 teaspoons maximum for the whole meal, or 3 tablespoons of ground flaxseed, which I always love to put on my breakfast. So you can see it's really easy to get too much fat. So let's see, what might we have for breakfast? I would say let's go for a whole grain, perhaps some non-dairy milk, whole grain toast with some hummus on, and with our grain, let's use the fruit, and we'll have that flaxseed, so we're getting our healthy fats, and that's going to give you a really well-rounded breakfast because your legumes are going to even out your sugars for the next 24 hours, which is wonderful. So you could have lentils, hummus, or beans on toast. Then for lunch, let's start with a great big healthy salad. We might use some of our sunflower seeds to make a dressing, or perhaps use a little of that avocado. And then with that, let's have some green leafy vegetables, whether it's broccoli, spinach, kale, whatever green leafy vegetables. Try and get at least half a cup. And then we might do a sweet potato with, let's say, some refried beans on top, or we could grab our rice and our garbanzos and make a stir fry with our vegetables. That's another healthy way to get all of these good things in. Or you can imagine, instead of the garbanzos, you could put the edamame in with quinoa instead of the rice. So lots of different combinations. You can even grab a whole wheat bread, flatbread, put on some tomato sauce, lots of veggies, and perhaps some cashew cheese, and there you've got a great pizza. Or you could do use tofu stroganoff and all of those variations. So just think about how you can combine these healthy things. And then for supper, I say breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and supper like a pauper. So a really light supper, and don't forget to walk for 10 minutes after meals, because that's going to walk your sugars down and give you a nice balance of glucose. Hope those tips are helpful for you. Try them out for the next few days.